Free agency has only been around in the NFL since the mid-90s, but undrafted and waived players have always played a part in building a team throughout history. That's why this week's Top 5 focuses on the top 5 free agent signings in Eagles history. Coming in at number 5, one of the best tackles in his day, Jon Runyan.
Jon Runyan gets signed here in the early 2000s and becomes, the dual-headed anchor of that offensive line along with Trey Thomas.
You're talking about a guy, for every single season that he suited up for the Eagles, I believe he didn't miss a game, all 16 games. No matter what year it was, Jon Runyan was out there at the tackle position. That's a tough position to play. And this is when the Eagles were their most successful.
And a congressman who got 2 terms and then got the heck out because he's smart and realizes football is better than politics.
Memo to Jon Runyan, you can come on my show. I love you so much. I'm not going to be difficult. When he was standing up for something, I called his office and said, you got to come on the show. And his staffer said, yeah, I'll return the call. I called the staffer back. I said, does Jon Runyan know that he's the only guy in Congress that's going to get a free pass from me? He is. He's the only guy. He can come on and I'll still just say, listen, man, you won us a lot of games. I don't really care what your politics are.
Coming in at number 4, the greatest kicker in Eagles history, David Akers.
David Akers became a fan favorite. You know why? Because girls love to wear number 2. That's why. But he was a pretty good kicker.
David Akers, to me, presented stability. You didn't worry about big kicks. And people forget about how many big kicks that he had in that era. You can make a case the greatest kicker in Eagles history, David Akers.
You remember him for what he didn't do. He never missed. My favorite moment with David Akers is, last game in Giants Stadium, the Giants played the Eagles. I was screaming my darn head off. I had won some seats right behind our bench. And at the end of the game, Akers came over and threw me a perfect spiral. He said, the game ball is yours. I grabbed it, greatest catch I've ever made in my career. And he let me have the game ball of the final game and victory for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll do anything Akers wants. Anything.
Coming in at number 3, the first star the Eagles took from the 49ers, Ricky Watters.
Ricky Watters was a great pickup, despite the for who, for what moment. Ricky Watters was a pretty good running back in this town. I'd say one of the really solid free agent signings.
First off, I think Ricky Watters was a phenomenal free agent signing. Ricky Watters, to me, is a guy who should be in the Hall of Fame. He came here and, there was the who, for what game, but I look at everything that happened after that and what a dual threat he was.
Coming in at number 2, a future NFL executive, Troy Vincent.
The great thing about Troy Vincent was the size. He had the size and the speed that the teams look for now. I mean, when you talk about drafting, all you ever hear is, oh man, this guy's 6 foot, he can run a little bit. Well, that was Troy Vincent. Troy Vincent was a shutdown corner who was also physical enough to play safety.
I mean, Pennsbury kid coming back home, I think it was kind of the turn of where this team was going to be and that they were going to spend some money. It kind of sent a message. To me, it showed that the Eagles are willing to open the checkbook and they were not afraid.
First of all, he's just a really quality person. I mean, the guy just walks in your locker room and you're a better team just for having him there. I mean, he's smart, he understands the game. He's one of those guys that you can say he gets it. I mean, he understands all aspects of it. He's a total pro. One of the things that Jim began building his defense around was knowing that his cornerbacks could play one-on-one, and I can send people at the quarterback. I can rush the passer, and I can blitz, and I can do a lot of the things that I want to do to get pressure on the quarterback because I know I have a secondary that will hold up.
And taking the top spot this week, the best $100 ever spent, Pete Retzlaff.
The Detroit Lions put Pete Retzlaff on waivers, and that meant that any team in the league could claim him for $100, literally $100. The Eagles claimed him for $100, and he came to Philadelphia. Pete's career really blossomed when Norm Van Brocklin came to the Eagles in '58. I mean, when he finally got paired with a great quarterback, and he really sort of mentored Retzlaff and taught him about running patterns and how to catch the ball and everything, and really brought out the talent that Retzlaff had. And in his first year playing with Van Brocklin, he tied for the league leading receptions. So that was one of the better $100 purchases I think the Eagles ever made.
So there you have it, your top 5 free agent signings of all time. Let us know what you think on Twitter using @EaglesShows, #EaglesTop5.